Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's been a minute. Yeah, I'm gonna apologize in advance. Long story short, yeah, I don't really have much of an excuse really, other than the fact that my other computer that I originally was using to edit videos with, I was having this issue with voiceover. Every time I would do it, the audio would actually be much longer and it would skip clips. So it was lagging clips and I was dropping like a lot of the frame rates like constantly. So the audio wouldn't match up. And I was getting over it. I was tired of it. And then I was like working a lot. I was tired a lot. And I was just like, dude, like I need to finish it. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, you know what? Like I'm just too beat to do it. So yeah, finally I've got the computer situation sorted out. Yeah, I just want to finish it. I actually had finished this video like a week and a half ago. It's just the voiceover has been the problem until I got this other computer finally. Luckily I got it cheap, so I was able to, finally get this done. So this race is the Chuck Pontius race. If I remember correctly, this happened June 30th, Sunday. It's been over a month since this happened, so yeah, apologize. But yeah, it was fun, super fun, extremely hard actually for 40 minutes of absolute torture. It was a very small group, 11 riders. Yeah, there was a Go Fast had 3 riders. Then Swan Song Cycling, I believe, BMR. And yeah, so I'm just going to show you guys the first lap. Here goes the whistle.
50 hot minutes. Here we go. This is the opener.
Girlfriend got some sideline footage of of our asses. And yeah, and we're off to the races, man. So this is kind of a very chill lap. It's not a complicated course. 4-corner course, very fast. It's like, I think it was 3/4 of a mile, so it's very, very, very fast. The only real hard part of this course was this upcoming small hill. At the beginning of the race, first couple laps, doesn't really hit you as much, but probably maybe like 8-9 laps in, that's when you really start to feel it. And yeah, I felt it, man. It sucked. The other thing is that I don't think I've ever mentioned this, but the bike that I was using for this ride and for this race and pretty much for like the last like year and a half, maybe 2 years, is an 05 Giant OCR3. It's the one you guys have probably seen on GCN, right? So I've actually had that bike way before GCN even came out with that video. The only problem is that my bike is almost a 57 centimeter and I am 5'9", close to 5'10". So you can only imagine how much bigger this bike really was. And getting it to fit was a massive pain. It never really fit, truly, ever. I was using a 60 mil stem. I mean, my saddle was basically slammed almost all the way forward. 0 setback on the seat post. I just did as best as I could. So yeah. The other funny thing about this race is I think I was the only person with a black helmet, and so shout out to my girlfriend, absolute champ. She had both the dogs and they were kind of acting up a bit, and she was just still out here, supporting me. So shout outs to her for sure. Okay, so that first lap, that's kind of that was it. So here I skipped a bit forward. We are about 3-4 laps in, and there's been some very, very minor attacks, nothing crazy. And yeah, like Go Fast was definitely pushing the pace here. Again, they got the numbers. Most of us seem to everyone seems to be kind of watching stuff, but no one's really trying anything just yet. And yeah, like we're just kind of keeping pace, trying to keep everything just kind of chill, mellow-ish. Again, my bike fit was not great. So at this point, I can kind of feel, I think on my right side, my hamstring was starting to kind of hurt a little bit, but I was like, okay, I can maybe manage it. But here's one funny thing. So you see this guy on the far right hand side? I have no idea how he managed to get there, but I remember someone on the front of the group was like, get off the course. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But let's get forward a little bit here. And yeah, so this is, I think, one lap further in. And this is the one that actually catches everyone by surprise. And spoiler alert, this one actually stays away. So Go Fast Rider right here takes off. That's, I believe, Alex Padilla, or if I remember correctly. I apologize. 443. So he gets in his drops. He takes off. Again, it's not an extremely hard attack. An Evoke Rider off the front is trying to chase it back down. It does kind of spur up the, it kind of stirs everyone's feathers up a little bit, so everyone's trying to, like, play catch up to that. I'm just like, you know what? I was trying to be smart about it. I know what I can and cannot do at this point, right? I'm not going to do as much work because, again, bike fit, not good. I'm not great at hills, but it could also be down to the fact that my bike fit's not great and I struggle a lot on hills because of it, or at that time. Foreshadowing for another video. But, yeah, so at this point, you can see that we're all kind of like semi-chasing this down a little bit, but it doesn't quite work. There's a lot of disorganization. Everyone's just kind of doing whatever they want. And yeah, again, spoiler alert, it ends up actually staying away. He ends up actually, pretty much winning the race, if I remember correctly. I can't remember how far off the front he was. I think I heard it was like 25 seconds or something like that, so 30 seconds, I can't remember. But yeah, so we're all just kind of trying to chase him down. And yeah, I don't know what happens. I think we all just kind of like started to like set the pace at a much slower rate than we should have, as opposed to like actually chasing it back. But yeah, I honestly, I can't tell you for sure, just because I'm not in a position where it's like I'm gonna be chasing stuff down. I just can't do it. I thought I could, but I really couldn't. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna resort to following wheels, doing the best that I possibly can. If for some reason I feel amazing in the next like couple of minutes, then I'll definitely try something. But as of right now, I'm gonna just kind of chill in the back a little bit. But yeah, man, it was a hard race. I mean, 40 minutes is the first ever that I've ever done Cat 5. 40 minutes, it hurt. So here, I believe this is Derek 442, Evoke Rider on the right hand side. I noticed that he is like really putting a little effort to go up and over this hill, right? So I'm like, you know what? He looks strong. I've never followed him before, but you know what? He looks like he's giving it some gas. So I'm gonna follow him. But at this moment, again, bike fit, not the best. Hamstrings kind of like aching quite a bit. I pull a cheeky move here, and I'm gonna apologize to the BMR rider because I didn't know he was behind me. I look to the right, I look to the left, and I pull wide because I'm not gonna keep on as a second wheel. I want someone else to close this down. I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing this. Someone else is gonna have to shut that down. BMR comes up, he waves somebody else through because he's not shutting it down. And now we got some serious disorganization. So yeah, it sucked, but it was what it was. I was struggling at this point I was struggling quite a bit because I think we were about 8 laps in, so we're about 50-60% of the way through the race. And I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna fall back, and same thing, just follow wheels, right? But honestly, I was pretty much dying inside. I was dying from the inside out. I was really trying to like keep good cadence without blowing myself up, But again, man, this hill that we're coming up on, dude, it sucks so much. I think by like the 10th, 11th lap, because I was still in the race, surprisingly, I was just like, dude, this sucks a lot, like a lot. But at the same time, I'm like, I gotta make sure that I'm like not thinking overly negative, because then my heart rate's just gonna climb up higher and higher, and it's gonna get worse. Um, but yeah, as you can tell, like I'm struggling here, man. I am not having the time of my life. Yeah, my quads were starting to really burn. Hamstrings were like, dude, you either slow down or we're gonna snap in half. And yeah, as you can tell, here's the funny thing. You can tell that I'm falling off behind, right? So I'm gonna explain something that happens. So as you can tell here in this clip, I've pretty much been completely separated from the group for about maybe half a lap, right? Maybe. And the rider actually up front of me is Yol Woods. So shout out to Yol. You are a champ. We worked together for about 2 laps. So I'm going to show you guys a bit of that. But yeah, we worked together for a bit. And I thought he was actually... I thought he lapped me, to be completely honest with you. I didn't know that he had fallen back. So I pull up next to him. And then I think... I can't remember if I say like, hey man, let's work together or something like that, right? So I think I heard him accelerate. So I'm like, okay, like we're just gonna do our best to try and maybe get close to the group so that way we don't get pulled, right? I hate being pulled or getting DNFs. I hate them. Like I absolutely hate them. It's worse than like being dropped, and yeah, it really is worse than that, honestly. Like being dropped and getting a DNF is like, dude, you did a double fail. Like, yeah. But we worked together for, yeah, if I remember correctly, like 2 laps. And then in the back of my head, I'm like, dude, like, I wonder how much farther back Alex or maybe the group caught up to him, how far back the group is. Because if they're literally right here, they're gonna jump, and then that's pretty much it. We're officially lapped, and I can say in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, that's end of race. But yeah, it kind of doesn't quite happen that way. Where you'll hear is pulling a bit because, dude, I mean, I was gassed at this point. I'm like, oh man, like it just, I'm dying inside, but I'm gonna follow his wheel and. Yeah, lo and behold, here comes Alex. So he does like a bit of a sprint. He laps us, basically. And yeah, at this point, I remember I was like, it kind of crushed me inside. I'm like, dude, like, here we go again. Like, I'm getting dropped again. I'm getting lapped again. Like, it's almost like repeating, the first race that I ever did, or a couple other CBRs that I did. It just feels that way. It sucks when you think you're in good fitness, and then something bad like that happens, where it's like you just get dropped, or you get a DNF. It sucks, but I was like, you know what, just keep your head down, just keep working, and make this work some way, shape, or form. So here's the funny part, right? So you've noticed already what's happened. Me and Yor are just kind of working together, right? I look to the left. I'm like, he says something like, I think he flatted. And then on the right hand side, I got these 3 guys come through. So I'm like, okay, I remember the guy up front. I'm like, that's Swan Song Cycling. I can't remember your name, dude. I'm really sorry. But I'm like, when Yul says, you know what, I think I caught it flat, I go ahead and jump in with these guys. So I'm like, okay, like, you know what, this probably doesn't count, just because I'm jumping on a group, jumping in with a group that is chasing back someone that's off the front, and I'm basically lapped. So I'm like, okay, they pull me, but if they leave me in, it's all good, right? So yeah, you know what, I'm gonna say it, but the rider with Swan Song Cycling, dude, you're an absolute animal. He pulled us for, I think, 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes. That's each lap we were doing it between a minute 30 to 2 minutes. So he pulled us for about 4 to 5 laps. I shit you not, 4 to 5 laps. The Go Fast rider didn't come up. The rider in front of me, I can't remember your name, man, I'm really sorry, he didn't go up there and take a pull. I definitely wasn't going to take a pull, and I'm extremely sorry to everybody, but dude, like, I was suffering for 2 laps with Yol. My, again, hamstrings were already killing me. My quads were killing me. My back was killing me because, again, bike fit with that bike was just not the business. But, you know, I was really trying my... I was here, I'm at 100% giving it everything I got. If you guys took off and sprinted, I would have never caught back up. And here I'm just going to let you guys listen to this audio because Swan Song off the front, he's actually going to slow down, and the Go Fast rider, he's just going to refuse to do any work. Go Fast is up front. He's slowing us down. He's at least right behind us somewhere. That's why he's not chasing. His dude, his friend, his buddy, his, you know, his teammate is up front. He's not gonna work with us. He's getting the free ride, you know. So yeah, like it's up to us to basically shut it down because yeah, like, you know, he could take off or whatever, but he's fighting for second or third either way, you know. So if he puts in any work, he's not doing it for our benefit. He's doing it for his own, right? So at this point, I'm like, okay, like they're gonna turn up the heat. I just gotta do my best to just kind of like, you know, hold it down. But I'm like, yeah, I'm cooked, 1000% cooked, and I think I do it again where I go a little wide. I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm gonna like be able to shut this down or just keep pace with them. And yeah, I think I let off some of the gas, and then I have to let a gap open, and then Swan Song is behind me. So he basically has to finish closing that down. I think, if I remember correctly, it's immediately after this lap. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think if I had the bike that I have now in this race, I would have done a lot better. It fits me so much better. I went from a 57 to a 53 and a half, so 53.5 centimeters or 535 millimeters from almost a 57. Okay, it's a huge difference. Not to mention that the material is different. So yeah, again, foreshadowing for a different video. I'll explain that another time. But dude, it's crazy how when you get a bike that's much larger and you get one, you swap it out for one that actually is smaller and it fits better, dude, it's crazy. But yeah, here we go, last lap. As you can see, Go Fast is he's putting in some work, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I look behind me, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not closing this down at all because I do not have it in me. So this effort right here is all I had. I had nothing left in the tank at this point. I'm like, I can't sprint. My legs are burning too much. I can barely breathe. My back hurts. My arms hurt. Legs hurt. Everything hurts. So I just let it go because I'm like, dude, I'm done. Like, this is the last lap. I'm done. I literally threw my hands up. I'm like, I'm just gonna you know, roll it in. And that's what I did. So they took off, and I think if I remember correctly, I think the rider in the white, black, and red kit ended up winning second, and then I think I can't remember if it was Go Fast that won third, and then Swan Song Cycling. I'm not 100% sure, but here, girlfriend catches a cyclist and me coming through.
Looks like Samuel Bodyboard.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Rounding out the podium, unofficially in third, and with
you know. Yeah, you can tell also that I was like struggling to keep myself upright, but yeah, but that's it, man. It was a long time talking, 20 minutes, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm sorry about that, but I'll make sure I keep everything else rolling through smoothly. So I'll definitely catch you guys at the next one.